Hello, everybody. I made it. I was on a river just a few days ago doing this because, yes, my phone fell into the Mulberry River in Ozark, Arkansas. It's a true story. But I made it to the music train. We have an epic show tonight with award-winning author Daniel Finkel of Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity. What does that mean? And this author is also a musician. He's a front man. He's amazing. He's a good friend of my husband's. Shout out to Kevin Hill. It's his birthday today. My birthday's tomorrow. It's also our anniversary of our first date, 17 years. So the music train is going. We're so happy that you're here. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Please let me know where you are tuning in from. Big shout out to X, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and of course, YouTube, and of course, StreamYard. Thank you, StreamYard, so much. Without further ado, I'd like to give a big shout out to my partner, Mr. BK Han, out of Singapore. That's right. We are Metaverse Generation worldwide, taking the world by storm, one interview at a time. And that's the way we get to find out what life is about. We find out people's stories. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up my guest. Mr. Daniel Finkel is here. Welcome to the music train, Daniel.
I'm here. Oh, there I am. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm so honored to be here. What an historic day on your anniversary and Kevin's birthday.
Yes.
What an honor. This is so cool. Thank you.
We met many years ago, you and I. I mean, Kevin, I think that Kevin is going to have to become maybe a producer of this show. A show can have a few producers, right? Yeah, because he's been like, get Dan into the studio. Get Dan into the studio. So today on his birthday, it's great that you could be here. You have a wild life. Let's start from like the beginning. How did you start? How did you start? Where were you? Where? What happened to you?
Yeah. I don't even know what happened. I just came out to LA because I thought it would be fun to work in the entertainment business at the time. A long time ago. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I met a bunch of freaks, and ended up being in this band called the Serotonins as the sidekick guy. I was like kind of psychedelic Flavor Flav.
Okay.
And your husband Kevin was the drummer.
Yes.
Amazing creative drum. And I'm not just saying that because you're his wife.
Yeah.
Played electronic drums in the beginning. He was doing all kinds of stuff. And he was amazing. And we had it was a wild time. The band ended up becoming, the party that was thrown from this band ended up becoming Lightning in the Bottle, which is a major music fest.
For real?
Yeah. Your husband was at the first Lightning in the Bottle ever. Mind blown.
So wait, the party that the band created.
Yeah. It was
show after show became Lightning in a Bottle.
Yeah, it was called Lightning in the Bottle. Actually,
I've heard of that show. I've never festival. It's a festival. I've never been.
We just did the Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity show there 2 weeks ago.
Wait. What is this Mr. Taffle's? This sounds like it's going to be famous. Okay, so and you're working on a second book. You're working on another book.
All true. Everything you're saying, right?
Okay, so can I just read a little bit from Amazon here? It says, all Mr. Taffle wants to do is be crowned the mighty warlord of his high-tech sales cult. Who doesn't want to read that book? I mean, how did you come up with the idea of this book?
It's another long story, which all ties to the same time that the band was going on.
Yeah. So it's that long. It's how many years in the making?
Yeah, it's wild. So I'm mostly a screenplay writer. I have directed a movie, and I'm the COVID guy that wrote a book during lockdown. I decided I would just turn Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity, which used to be called Stan Taffle's Leather Pants, and it was almost made into a movie. It had like people attached to star in it, and like this young becoming director attached, and it was really close. I think it was close enough where there was a lot of people doing things for it. It never happened.
What happened?
It's just
you know what I like to call what happened. I think everything that happens is meant to be, even the things that necessarily don't make sense or that bring us to challenges that we don't necessarily want to, try to overcome. But I know there's a big road for this book because, I mean, not only do the pants hypnotically attract the most bizarre characters that cross their path, but they also act as a magnet that pulls whoever is wearing them to the most bizarre places on earth. This is a fantastic idea. I mean, like, I want to read the book. Where can I get the book?
Well, it's on Amazon. You can just order it off. But the audiobook I really recommend because the audiobook was done by an amazing, talented guy that happens to be a close friend of mine. But his name's Tommy Toretta, and he does all these voices. He can do. So in the book, he does like 16 different voices. So it's like listening to a cartoon in your head. It's an amazing experience. I really love it. And you can get it anywhere.
Have you seen the movie A Series of Unfortunate Events with Jim Carrey? Have you seen it?
I have not seen that one, but that
This
does sound kind of
I
similar.
mean, please check it out. Please jot it down because I feel like
I
this
missed
would
that
be
one.
I don't know. I feel like it's an alignment. It's a strange, curious world, basically. You know, like the pants. Who doesn't
Right.
want to wear the pants? Also, I mean, this could be a series. This could be an animation. This
Yeah.
could be like a cartoon on Saturday mornings. Wait, are they still doing that? Are we from the 80s?
Yeah, I don't know if that happens. I don't even know anymore. I do think it would be a great animated movie for
Yeah.
sure. I would. That's the goal, is to turn it back into a movie. Like, I would love to do that.
Did
Yeah.
you ever think you were going to be an author? Did you ever think that you're
Oh, I thought authors had to be smart. I'm not smart. I didn't know. I'm not,
okay, so you're a humble man. I know that you are smart, Daniel.
well,
Daniel Finkel.
smart is like an intellectual. Like, I like to think, I'm just, I try. I mean, I'm interested in stuff, and I'm very creative.
You're
So
amazing.
thank you. I leaned into like the whole Alice in Wonderland, Willy Wonka kind of kid thing, even though I didn't make it's not a kid book. I didn't.
Right.
It's not R-rated. I didn't put any bad words. It was
Yeah.
hard to, because I'm such an R-rated.
Your book, you didn't use any
I
profanity.
kept it PG, even though it's
Oh, okay.
like bordering on it. But it's not a kid book, but yet it has that kid spirit to it. I
Well,
think.
Jack Kerouac. Let's talk about him. And on the what was the Jack Kerouac book? On the Road? Was it called On the Road?
Sure, that's not for kids. That's for sure.
Well, if you think about what it is to really be a kid, you're free. You don't really have much responsibility. You want to hang out with your friends. Your parents are a drag, and you want to get on the road and live your life and experience all the things. Of course, later then you find out, oh, that's why they were so concerned, because the world's the world. So how does Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity tie into today's culture, today's like tech culture? I see that it obviously, what I just read, the head honcho tech person of the world to me is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, he just had a major success. It seems to be one after the other, the rocket, the biggest one ever. And it just able to like fall into the ocean as they planned finally. So who are you talking about in that book? Are you talking about anybody?
Well, you got to understand, it's a real big satire.
Oh, okay.
It's like the not so distant future, sort of, and it could be any city, it's just like he's very general. So it's basically like this new technology. So I made it like, it's not, Black Mirror is obviously darker, but I love Black Mirror.
Right.
But it's something like that, where it's not quite, it's just futuristic enough, but it's not quite there. So there's this thing they sell where it's what's it called? Projecto. Yeah. And it projects, when you call someone, it projects their face, but you can also touch them and feel it. So they can like actually called feel technology. So he sells it kind of like a pyramid scheme. Like they're selling this technology. So he's part of this like sales cult, and they're like, sell, and it's like this crazy cult, and they're like,
feel the world. Whoa. So that's like, that ties so much into like what's going on with AI and like Apple Vision Pro. And like we had actually a total AI buff, Robert Scoble. If you haven't heard of Robert Scoble, was on our series season 4 with AI-tainment. But basically he makes lists of everybody and anybody that's doing AI, and he has his Apple Vision Pro on. His Tesla drives itself. And would you ever consider having a car that you're in drive itself? How do you feel about that?
Of course. If they make it safe, I would love it to be safer on the road.
Yeah. I was recently listening to an interview on X about the elevator, how initially it wasn't safe at all. And there was somebody standing there that needed to make sure, like, that had to push the buttons. Yeah, technology is a trip. Do you think that maybe we might be part technology? People often like compare our brains to computers and things. Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think we're visiting ourselves from the future?
Man, no, I don't. But I also realize that I don't know a lot of things. Like I'm like, that's kind of my attitude, is like, I don't think things, like I can say my opinion is I don't think that's right. But in reality, I'm open, I'm not shutting the door to anything. So while I say that, I don't think so, but who the hell am I?
So what was your favorite kids show? Sorry to talk over you, Daniel. What was your favorite kids show growing up? Like, did you have a favorite cartoon, or like what really got you going? You're like, I want to be there. Like,
well, I think it was the Alice in Wonderlands thing and the Willy Wonka thing. Like I was saying, like those secret like world like books, you know, like even Babes in Toyland when I was a kid, remembering like the Laurel and Hardy, they were like secret little toy world or something. Something like that. I just got this magical feeling when I was a kid. And it was weird. I remember I saw an interview with Peter Jackson, the filmmaker that did Lord of the Rings and all that stuff.
Cool.
He said most of his, because he did the Beatles Get Back documentary, he said most of the things he still does is stuff as a kid that he was like, and I feel sort of the same way, you know, like I'm still like the things I felt the magic as kids. I still feel that magic, even though I'm a middle-aged man now.
You're a great middle-aged man. Yay for middle age, guys. I know people are constantly like, well, I'm not young anymore, and I can't do the things. I think that, yeah, some people think that, some people refer to themselves as old.
It's a 30-year-old version of me.
What is this? Oh, okay, put it a little closer.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
It's that mushroom tea. Yeah, my gave me a space for this. Was a present to my mother who's no longer with us. But then, which was really weird. My dad's like, "Do you want this?" Like, I'm like, "Dad, you don't want a mug of me?"
Oh, I'm so sorry you lost your mom.
I have a mug of myself.
Maybe we could do a music trade to honor.
Like I have a T-shirt with my name on it either.
Let's see. I want one. Where can we get them? Hold on a minute. How do we find you?
I've given away almost all the T-shirts, but I could always, if there was in demand, I can order more. I've just given away I've probably $1,000 down, like just giving these T-shirts away. This is the audiobook one. I also had the book one.
So I'm gonna have to. I just cannot wait for that audiobook. How long is that? How long is the audiobook?
Look at all the awards on my shirt.
Oh my goodness! Tell me what those are.
All the awards on their shirt.
You do, apparently.
Well, you're trying to like sell yourself. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, you're in LA selling yourself. How does that feel? How long have you been in LA?
20-something years, at least.
Right on. Are you going to come visit us?
Late 90s. I have to, because I've never been to Chicago, which
is you have to come. We'll come for your film premiere, and I'll play a song for you guys. Which, by the way, this weekend, you guys, I'm going to give a little self-promotion here for the one and only Tesla Takeover in Muskegon, Michigan, this Saturday, the 15th of June. I hope you've gotten your tickets already. Daniel, it'd be great to have you out there, but here we go. Let's check it out. Such a good thing.
That song that you played for me, I wish it didn't cut off, because your song is so cool that you wrote.
So I didn't write the lyrics, Daniel. Dr. Scott Walter, who actually was a guest on E8S5, amazing guy, aerospace engineer and in robotics. He wrote these lyrics in 2023, I believe it was, or 2022, just imagining what his FSD, what his full self-driving vehicle would think if it was like a real person, which I guess it kind of acts like one as it's learning its surroundings. So those lyrics came to me through the X platform, and we talked about it. He said, "Will you put it to music, Vessy?" And I was like, "I'd love to put it to music." And so I did. Maybe I'll play that a little bit later, but can I run your spot right now? You sent me a couple things.
Yeah,
which one should I do? How about Mr. Taffle Live Mortis V2? What's that about?
It's the live. Let me set it up a little bit.
Okay.
It's a show we do. Basically, when I wrote this book, I did the second draft in Portland, and a friend of mine, Jerry Curl, was in their band Original Booty Burglars. I don't know if you remember them, Vessy. They were like a brother band of the Serotonins. But so I was living with him in one of his guest rooms, and we decided to write some songs for the book. And this other guy named Marcus Junkin also lived in Oregon. So he ended up doing like all the instruments besides the drums and the vocals and producing it. And then I made like a karaoke version. I go around, I've been to like the Last Bookstore, which is one of the most acclaimed bookstores in Los Angeles. Just did it at the Lightning in the Bottle Festival. And I do this show around, whoever will take me to promote the book. It's like shameless promotion. And this is a little clip of some of the stuff. And then also a little lead in for the audiobook.
In a universe woven from the fabric of absurdity comes a tale so peculiar it blurs the line between madness and genius. The award-winning book, is now an auditory odyssey.
And the truth is that the truth is the perfect place to hide.
This psychedelic masterpiece is also ready for the stage.
Introducing Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity!
Daniel lyrics. Daniel Finkel laces out, ain't this jingle not trying to make a single. This is from a book that I wrote.
Mr. Taffle, air gallopper, top of an air donkey down to center stage. Mr. Taffle's life was now in danger.
Come on, let's go! We don't stop for lunch! Lunch is for chumps! The 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 chumps! The chumps! The chumps! The chumps! 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 Chumps!
This place is bonkers. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Listen to Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity. Download it now.
Oh, I love it. It has like, I mean, you look like Johnny Depp. I'm not gonna lie. Like you kind of look a little bit like Johnny Depp there. And I see the influence of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know, from the original, of course. Gene Wilder. I mean, I see colors that are familiar. And so, but I still have no idea what it's about besides it being about a pair of pants that they're magical pants, and they take the person on the ride of their life because they don't know who they're going to meet because everybody's drawn to the pants. Do the pants ever come off of Mr. Taffle?
I can't tell you, that would ruin it. That's kind of, I don't want to blow that, but you know, it's like they act like there happens to be a place behind the walls in one of the streets of downtown.
Okay.
Secret world that's built by a radically experimental artist using alien technology with unlimited funds.
Okay.
So it's this world, and these pants are just a magnet to chaos. So of course they lead them right there. But you know, these pants end up taking people down. Like, you know, you have to get the pants off because at first it's like he wants to play with you like a orca likes to play with the seal, you know. But then eventually, the person that wears
are they killer pants?
Well, they don't care, but the chaos comes out. They attract weird people, so it's a matter of time before like the chaos is too great.
So was this born during did you dream this? Like, I'm just kind of like fascinated, Daniel.
So the idea, what happened was, I arrived. I was a couple years in Los Angeles, probably, and for some reason, I decided that it would be real. And this was kind of like, you know, late '90s. So I decided I wanted to get like white hair, just like totally, you know, I was going to do something radical. And I was hanging out. It was like a Melrose. I was hanging out at this like shop right by beforehand. I was a little nerdier, you know, like,
yeah.
And like there was a hot girl with like at that point like tats and the nose. That was weird. That wasn't normal like it is now.
Right.
So she wasn't looking at me. I was like, wow, she's gorgeous or something, you know. But like, okay, got my hair done and went back down, and she was there, or she was in the, I don't know, something like that. She was at the counter, and now she's like totally kind of started flirting with me immediately because I looked so weird, you know, with buzzed hair. And it was just crazy. I'm like, oh, there's just changing your appearance, how it just changes everything, like one little thing.
And so how did that moment, I guess I see, I'm lost in, you're a great storyteller. I'm lost in your stories. BK Han is here. BK Han, we'll hopefully jump up on stage and ask you a question or two. Again, shout out to everybody tuning in to episode 8 of The Music Train with the award-winning author Daniel Finkel of Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity. And those pants are seriously insane. In fact, this is just a great ploy to put out a designer jean company. I'm going to have to DM you, direct message you about this
Wow,
because
perfect.
you see, I have an idea and I've had it
The
for
leather pants. So that
Yeah.
was kind of why, instead of the hair, I don't know why leather pants just seem funny to me.
Can they be vegan? Can they be vegan leather?
I mean, we could definitely make it's hard because there's a cow involved.
So I see. So because if they're leather, then it connects to animals, obviously, which
There's a
maybe
curse.
that's
It's kind of, but it is playing off like it's making
Yeah.
fun of like factory farms. I mean, not making
Nice.
fun of that, but making a
shining a light.
Well,
Yeah.
not really shining, but just like saying how effed up it is, like in a funny way. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing, because it's about how they start making the chemicals in these cows, and
Poor
so
babies. How do you feel about factory farming?
it's not good. But like I don't try not to eat that stuff, but like
Yeah.
I do probably still sometimes. I'm not. I want to do the right thing, but it's really it's like
I think a lot of people feel like you do. I do. I try. It's difficult when something is there and offered to you to not accept it. I think it's always
everyone said like let's ban that. I'd be 100% in.
Right.
I'm like I can sacrifice, and I don't eat that stuff much, but like
Yeah.
to be like it's hard to live like a rigid life for me.
Yeah, you're at a baseball game. You want a hot dog. You want an American hot dog with some mustard, onions. Let's talk about your dad. I want to talk about your dad. Is your dad creative? And was your mom creative? Like, could you tell me a little bit about?
Yeah, my mom was lovely. She was awesome. She wasn't very creative, but she was really funny.
Yeah.
So she was kind of creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was more creative.
What's your first memory of her?
Wow, my first memory of my mom. I'm looking at her picture right now.
Oh.
I'm just picturing her like back in New York, with her hair back, when I was like, because I moved when I was like 5 or 6. So it'd be like, yeah, just hanging out in New York, the way she looked.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how about your dad? What's your dad like?
My dad is like everyone loves my dad. He's won retirement, but he plays guitar a little bit and sings. He's got a really good voice. Can
you give him the link so we can get him in the studio to play a song right now? Would he do it?
I don't think he could. He's 85. I don't think he could handle that right now, on the spot.
I hear you. Well, we could do a special episode to honor your father and have his story told.
He would like it. We could set that in the future for sure.
You could be the co-host with me since it's your father, and I'll kind of just set the stage for you guys. We love stories. We love people's stories and sewing them together. So what advice do you have for upcoming authors, people who are wanting to be screenwriters, people who are already screenwriters and are kind of like not feeling the Hollywood love because of the transition that Hollywood's going through for how many years now has Hollywood been transitioning into whatever it's going to become? What do you have to say about that, by the way?
I don't know anything anymore. It's like, everything is moving so fast. It's hard to keep, and I'm really making it's been interesting because 2024 has been the most productive writing year of my entire life. Like I've gotten a lot of scripts like really tight and ready, and it's really still, it's like what they're buying and so little, and like so it's really, the AI is really changing the landscape, the way people watch. People don't watch films that much anymore. Like, it has to be
so sad.
Yeah, so it's like, is it dying, or is this just like, what is this?
I think a resurgence is happening. I think regarding AI, often the discussion, I'm privy to hearing people speak about it because the XApp and AI and just it's everywhere. Although today in a store, I won't mention which store, somebody wanted me to like speak into their phone. I was looking for like a kiddie pool, one of those plastic kiddie pools to watch the dog in. I swear this is a short story. Anyway, he's like, say pool, like right to the phone. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna say pool. And the fear of like your voice being able to be generated to be used for like malicious, which am I paranoid? Like, what the heck? I can't, this guy's like, say pool. No.
I don't know. I mean, maybe you were right on, who knows these days.
I guess you gotta like live every day like it's your last, especially in Hollywood.
The thing I just, when I talk about AI or something, I'm just like, well, the reality is you just cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Right.
It's out. There's no going back.
Good point.
point. We're gonna have to figure out how to deal with it and how to make it. And there's a lot of benefits. I mean, it's incredible, but like,
Do you use
we're having
ChatGPT,
rough. What's that?
ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini or any of the AIs? Do you use ChatGPT?
Yeah, I use it to
It's amazing.
do research for sure. It's like super Google.
So one of the things that I searched up was I wanted to know about female composers because in my children's school, there's all the great men up there on the wall, and I want to know, besides just the couple, who are the great female composers. So I had a good 45 minutes with ChatGPT like last year, like in December, just like going to the next one. Tell me where they lived. Give me the top 100. We can't give you the top 100. Give me the top 25. And then I asked for 25 more. So do you think that the art of prompting is something that they're going to start teaching children in schools? And do you actually think that the school system could be utilized with AI at the forefront as teachers? And if so, what's going to happen to the teachers? What do they'll have to find something to do that they love besides teaching, or they got to learn to about AI.
Why would you want to replace teachers? Like, you need that like human to human contact to really focus in.
Right.
That to me
Yes,
is,
I agree with you.
um,
But the thing about the human contact thing, sometimes the teaching is just like filing down a hallway and shush, don't talk, and learn this. And imagine just even if you had like an AI in your room to ask a question to, like
coming anyway. And as far as the prompts go, no, because everything's going to be too quickly moving to like, like before you know it, you're not even going to need to know prompts. You're just going to just talk to it like I was talking to you about anything.
And you may not recognize that it is AI. Like, I look like
and
AI?
it's soon. It's not like going to be a long way away. It's happening.
So, speaking of teachers, Daniel, who was your favorite teacher and why?
Oh man, I didn't have a lot of favorite teachers. I was a pretty mediocre student and I didn't really like school. And I know that's weird because now I love to learn, but like I didn't. But I did remember there was this teacher named Miss Scalzo. She was just like a great teacher. I don't know. She came in and she had to replace another teacher. She came in, she was really mean. And everyone was like, she's mean, but she was really cool. She was just coming in to like, just kind of lay down the law and be like,
right,
I'm not going to F around. But once she did that, she was like, I remember her being really cool and fun and like a good teacher.
Do you remember learning how to write and your first story that you ever wrote?
Well, I'm such a late bloomer to this, but the first thing I ever wrote was a story in like the 4th grade called The Nose That Sniffed Up Christmas.
I love it.
My mom loved it. Like that was her favorite thing I think I've ever written to this day.
How about a children's book, The Nose That Sniffed Up Christmas? I love that.
It might be a little bit, even though it wasn't supposed to mean cocaine. I think.
Oh yeah.
A little bit cocaine.
Well,
like,
you could put a new spin on.
The author they'd be like, oh, he's definitely a drug addict. So
right. No. Don't you say that, Daniel. The thing is that
I write psychedelic books about
Okay, but I mean, The Nose That Sniffed
I'm
Up
just saying,
Christmas.
they might think that I specifically.
You wrote it. Who cares what they think? You wrote it in 4th grade.
It's true. You're right.
Send me a copy. I'm gonna write a song. Okay. I don't think you know about this.
I own it now, though. I don't know where that book is. I think it's gone.
You're inspiring me. I'm getting up to get my guitar.
Oh, sick.
So, do you know about the Music Train? Why this show came to be? Did I share that with you yet?
I don't know a lot about the show. I'm sorry.
So it's okay. I'm not mad. I'll just have to fire a couple of my PAs. Just kidding. There's no PAs, but we do run a tight ship here.
Fire them.
No, I'll be firing myself then because I was supposed to tell you. So I saved this for the show. So basically, this show was born in 2022 on an app called Connect Club, and Connect Club allowed you to go onto video and move around the cabin. Let's just say you're on your phone and you see a skin of a room. Let's say it was Mr. Taffle's like bedroom, and he had a closet here. It was all visually, not in 3D necessarily, but you could just tap on any part of the area and go there and turn on your camera and meet people from all over the world. Wow. Apparently $11 million was spent on that app. But anyway, moving forward, I was on that app one day with my dear partner, and he's here. Hopefully he's going to come up and say hi to you. He's also the artistic director and makes the amazing flyers. Shout out to BK Hot and Metaverse Generation. Amazing person. And he said, let's ask a few words from the guests and write a song live. And I had my studio on. We had already been into NFTs and non-fungible tokens, music NFTs specifically, still way deep into that. I don't know if you've thought about releasing, your own animations through NFTs and kind of having people like support you that way. But if you're interested in that, I'd love to talk to you about that. So basically, the guests, you're like, I can't get a word in edgewise. She's talking all over the place, but so the thing is that one word from each of the guests, and then I wrote a song, I recorded it, and BK turned them into NFTs. And that was season 1, because we didn't have a live show like this. And then BK said, what do you think about StreamYard, going live on StreamYard, doing the show, and actually visually interviewing guests and writing a song live on the show with a few words from the guests. So you get a song right now. That's my present to you. Will it become an NFT? I don't know. Could be. But what do you want it to be about?
Well, I'm a self-promotion, dude. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, I wrote music about a book. So let's write about pants.
Okay. Give me a few words.
Leather pants. Leather pants. Mr. Taffle. Sales cult. Very, 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 very funky town.
Welcome to Mr. Taffle's funky, 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 funky town. He's standing upside down. Mr. Taffle's pants. Mr. Taffle's pants.
Power for that. Go.
I need another word.
The rat.
The rat didn't tell the detective anything as Mr. Taffle's pants dropped from his string and into the world below. It said, upside down, inside out, don't take me out of this place. Mr. Taffle's pants. Taffle's pants. Mr. Taffle's pants.
Leather pants.
Mr. Taffle's pants.
Oh, NFT gold. That just bought you or your beach house.
Awesome. Let's go.
Beach house.
If I get a beach house, I'd like to rent it out for the film to be shot in the house, because every good film needs a great house to film in. Yeah. And I don't know if you could tell me if you were able to turn this into a movie, which sounds like it's going to happen, just a matter of time. Yep. That's what I'm hearing. Mr. Taffle's telling me right now. So what kind of house would Mr. Taffle have?
Mr. Taffle lives in one of those 1,000 people apartment complex boxes that all look the same, with the greenest grass that you could ever have, artificial, like green grass.
So like Edward Scissorhands neighborhood.
Yeah, a little bit, but more like futuristic and not fun houses, like boring, like everything's,
Some people, I mentioned this to Kevin the other day, and some people, because those neighborhoods, he said some people don't want to be found.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So what happens in this house? Can you tell us more? Can you what
happens in that house? I mean, he's basically there, dreaming about it. It has a classic love story in it, like fairy tale love story about the girl that pulverized his heart. So you see him, he also has an obsession with Alex Trebek and
from Jeopardy, right? That's funny.
So he watches repeats of them and tries to memorize the questions.
Where'd you come up with that? That's wild, dude.
I guess why I thought of the Jeopardy thing is because I always feel so inferior when I watch Jeopardy. I'd be like, I don't know any of these answers. Shouldn't I?
I mean, there's a book you can get.
Why didn't they tell me these answers? Why don't I know anything?
Why don't I know anything?
Yeah, Mr. So I think it's an inferior complex maybe with me. So he had an inferior. So
I love it.
He starts kind of memorizing this fun facts. He loves memorizing fun facts.
Cool. You're Mr. Taffle.
I'm not, but there's just that little part of me is in there. I'm just definitely not Mr. Taffle. He's different than me, but I am also have many things wrong with me, like Mr. Taffle, just a little different, you know.
Everybody has things. I think we're here to just, are we supposed to iron out the things? I think we're supposed to iron out the things that we have going on. Would you say that would you say that children are the most creative when they have a supportive family life to kind of allow to give them wings to fly?
I don't know if that's true, just because how many people with terrible childhoods have become like, you know, some of the greatest artists we've ever had, you know.
What's a terrible childhood?
Well, like let's think. Like John Lennon kind of had a
Did
hard
he? Tell me a little bit about it.
his father died and his mother didn't want to really have anything to do with him. And then she died.
Oh,
So he's had to stay with his aunt or something like that.
that's so sad.
I don't know exactly. I'm not a historian. It was just something like that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. That's
Right.
so sad.
Like, I don't know why that one popped up, but yeah, like so I don't know. The answer is basically, I mean, I would like to think that, like, you know, more opportunities to do stuff is obviously like you give more opportunities to be creative and do some cool stuff like that. You obviously have a better chance.
So we only have so many hours that we're going to be alive in the world,
Correct.
right? Like we have like 1,000, 4,000, 5,000. No, not that. Days. Hold on a minute.
Well,
Anyway, what is it? What's the number?
Be 30 minutes.
Yeah, the thing is that you don't know whose heart you might touch. I think everybody we're crossing paths with, like, we've been here before somehow. And when people seem familiar to us, like you seem familiar to me. You seem familiar to me right away when I met you. And I've seen what you can do as a front man, the serotonins. I'm really wanting like the YouTube channel, like for your videos. Like, is that something that people can subscribe to? I know they can find you on Instagram at Daniel Eric Finkel, and also Facebook. Do you have an X account? Are you on X?
I'm not.
So we're gonna have to do an interview there, a live audio app interview. Really amazing app. I found a huge family there of people just who are super right on. Maybe some political differences, but it doesn't matter. I don't talk politics with people. And I think the politics of being human, like if a person can't have humanity, then really they don't have any business being a leader. So you seem to be a leader in your field. People want to interview left and right. Can you tell me some of those awards that you've won now? Because I actually don't have your bio in front of me. How does that feel to get all of that attention for your hard work?
Surprising. Like,
you're surprised?
Yeah, like I was surprised, but like, you know, all it was, like, I just kept going down the road. I had some guy kind of helping me. Like, I paid some dude a little bit of money. He's a cool guy. His name's Dale. Published
Shout out to Dale.
Dale, what's his last name? Just like, but
It's
it's self-publishing with Dale. He's a great guy. So he kind of directed me to this website where it's what's it called? It's the Award Pro. Yeah, it's Book Award Pro. And so
cool.
anytime I saw a humor category, I didn't even know what I was doing. I just like,
oh, you submitted.
I like ended up like most of them I either won or became a finalist. So I was just like one after the other. It just kept clicking in.
That must feel so amazing to be so
like
you deserve it.
In the beginning, like the people I sent like the first drafts to, they were like, you know, it was like, eh! I was like, well,
yeah,
maybe this sucks, but you know, I held on to it and worked on it longer, and that's what I'm doing now with my next one. I'm putting it away so I can be objective about it, but it's the hardest thing is to put something away when you're
so
excited.
it's not a second, it's not like a so it's not a second book about brand new.
Yeah, it's another screenplay. You know, I'm probably going to just be doing that for a while because I've written so many screenplays that I've been produced. So but it's more, you know, it's more R-rated just because.
What keeps you going? What keeps you going?
I'm addicted. Like people talk about that. Like the people are addicted to stuff. Like when I'm not working on a project or something, I get really depressed. Like, so I literally but when I'm focused and I'm like turned on and excited about like what I'm doing, it's like I can always go to that.
Well, you're really fun to talk to. I'm so happy that you've been the guest today with us. I'm really happy that you made time for us.
Oh,
would love to have you back. We have 20 minutes left. So, you know, is there anything that you would like the audience to do? Hey, subscribe and click the like button, guys. Definitely do that. And follow Daniel Eric Finkel on Instagram and reach out to him and actually get his book. Go to Amazon. It's $11. Get the book, read it, write a review. Say again.
The audiobook as well. If it's on all platforms. You can listen on Spotify.
And the kids can listen.
The kids can listen. It's it's definitely, there's no bad words. There's it's borderline. It's probably PG, But
and anybody that wants to become an investor, like, what are you willing to give them?
Hey. Oh wow, that's well. This particular book is this particular book will be a big investment. It's I didn't hold back in this version of the story. There's actually a really interesting story about how that became.
Will you let us know what it is?
Yeah,
I'd love to hear it.
When I wrote, so I had written that book, that screenplay, and it kind of was going nowhere. But that producer, one of the producers, was now partnering with this big time producer, like had an office at the Disney lot and all that stuff, So, and it had to deal with Disney. And I was like, something, I had this idea to turn Miss Stan Taffle's Leather Pants into like a psychedelic version, kind of like a human, instead of like, they did something called The Sorceress's Apprentice, where Nick Cage was, and it was basically the Fantasia.
Yeah, I remember.
So that was my thinking. So I kind of made Mr. Toad's Wild Ride from Stan Taffle, and turned it into like Mr. Toad and like the weasels and like so. And I kind of got them excited about this, and the first draft the guy wasn't feeling. He was like, he said this to me. It was like I was in his like mansion on the Hollywood Hills. It's the funniest thing. So he's just like, your writing you're like Michael Jordan, and I'm like, he's like, but you don't pass the ball.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but isn't that the most Hollywood bullshit? Yes, like this Hollywood like asshole that like was an idiot, but like was somehow successful. So I found out later, someone called, like I told a few people and like writers and stuff that I was doing this. So one of my writer friends like texted me congratulating me on like, and I was like, what? And like, so they decided to make Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. There was an announcement on Hollywood Reporter that they were going to make it now into a movie. Not using my story, but just kind of getting that idea,
Yeah.
And no one would call me back. Like 0 people would call me back. Like I totally got. So I had this like psychedelic version of and I'm like, so when I decided I was going to write the book, I'm like, well, I should do that one because that's the most Alice in Wonderland-y thing now. Like I'm basically like already transferred like this. So it was just made like with a big budget in mind now. So it would be hard to make. This movie would definitely like, what
do you need?
I need a filmmaker, a visionary filmmaker that's done like some big stuff to fall in love with this book.
Tim Burton
or the next. Tim Burton would be fine. I'd be happy with Tim
Burton. We want you.
Burton or someone like that,
Danny Elfman do the music score.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp could definitely be Larat.
What's Larat? Who's that?
He's the French guy that owns the Titsar clothing and a pipe shop. And he's the one that sells the leather pants to Mr. Taffle, even though he knows what's going to happen because he has to. It's just,
wow. I've got to read this book. I swear to you, when we're done with this stream today, live stream, by the way, you guys, we are live in the studio. Wow. Shout out to last week's guest, Susan Williams.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't think. Maybe I have.
You haven't. No, not anything. I didn't hear anything. I don't even like that word. That word was used by my siblings, and I don't like that word. Sometimes
I'll never say it again.
Yeah, please don't.
It was so stupid of me. Oh God. Sorry,
the word stupid though, and idiot, like those words, I just like, I don't like those words.
Yeah, they're not nice words. They're not. They're cold and prickly, not warm and fuzzy.
You and I have a good rapport here. We could be songwriters. So are you passing the ball to any other writers are you passing the ball to any other writers? The Michael Jordan thing. It's interesting that the people that have surrounded you, that have told you the things that they've told you, they still have a way of being part of your career moving upward. Isn't it interesting? The people that put up the challenges, the people that say, no, this, like, I was in a few big time record execs, their offices, like Universal Music, Virgin Records, and like always crazy stuff would happen. Like my guitar string would break. I was nervous. My voice shook. I didn't have the confidence. I have the confidence now, but I'm not 22. So
Right.
I'm 23. But yeah, it's okay. It wasn't very funny. So I want to do this Buy My Book remix. Can we do that really
Yeah,
quick?
absolutely. Yeah.
You guys, isn't this an amazing interview here with this amazing human being? We love you, Daniel. We wish you the best. We want you to get this music. Where can we what's the next interview? Where are we going to do you have like a regular show that you do? Are you interested in doing a regular show and like having an animator kind of create like a weekly show of your book?
By the way, Jeremiah Alexis did all of this art. It is AI art. So just to let you know.
It is cool. Right on.
See,
that's so awesome.
See, where we talk about AI, that's the only way I could ever afford to do animated stuff.
Well, there we see, but
that's
why?
There's benefits, and he's really mastered. He spent like the time mastering this, so it's art form for him because he's mastering the software and how to do it all.
What's he using? What's he using?
I don't know. I'm not.
Unreal Engine? Is he using Unreal Engine?
He's using a lot of the latest stuff. He's really, if anyone needs an AI project, I can't recommend him enough, and you could always contact me.
Cool. Right on. Okay.
He does this. You'll see what it.
Jeremiah what's his name?
Alexis.
Jeremiah Alexis, shout out to you. Let's check out what you did.
I-S.
Here we go.
Damn.
Why don't you want to buy my book? Don't you want to be happy? You're gonna buy my book, please.
Listen to Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity. Download it now.
Oh my gosh, that freaked me out.
It was really weird. I love it.
That scared me. Those looked like Doge dogs. Those looked like the Shiba Inu dog that like created like the Doge sensation.
Yeah.
Why is it so scary?
I don't know. I just like it because there's a little weirdness to like Mr. Taffle's. Well, it's like it's not scary, but there's always like a little like what the hell's going on kind of.
Is that you in the video?
That was me. Yeah, but
wow.
We basically, we shot this stuff. We shot like just a bunch of music clips, just outside using like a green thing of cloth.
So fun. What I mean?
I just did a couple things, and then like we shot like 4 commercials. I'm not a social media guy until this book. I had to start doing it, but TikTok, I got like, I think one of them might have gotten like 100,000 views.
Let's go.
Likes.
That's a nice number. So you
not a lot of followers, but like, I got a lot of
you can make money with that monetization and fund your own film, which is why I suggest going on X. Yeah. If you get 5 million.
I'm willing to go on X. I just haven't. I remember I just couldn't.
Well, when you're ready, we'll do an interview there and we'll all right. Have some fun. It's an audio app. So you just, that's really cool part about it is just audio, which is another. Were you ever on Clubhouse and that whole scene?
I never really did that. Yeah.
Yeah. My mother was like, this is really weird just hearing people. I don't really want to do it, like just to hear people. I think that's odd. Well, okay. So I think we talked about a lot of things. BK Han, are you able to come up and say hi? He might be preoccupied. He is here in the studio. I just have to say a big shout out to this gentleman who is also my teacher and mentor out of Singapore. Metaverse Generation, by the way, Daniel, it's comprised of people from all over the world who are into exactly what we're doing here, which is live streaming and getting the real story. Yeah. So BK, do you have any questions? Welcome.
I'm in. I've been listening all this while. Yeah.
Glad you're here. Great to hear your voice.
I love your little avatar, man. That's I want you to really be that. I want you not to be a real person. I kind of want you to be an animation character.
Yeah. Vessy's always call me that blue Egyptian sky,
Yeah, he is the blue Egyptian. How BK and I met, so I became a voice actor on Clubhouse. It's a very long story. I won't tell you it right now, but I was vibrato and I sang all my parts for the Funky Eye Puppets. And BK came in, I don't know, I was starting to see his profile picture like for 2 weeks. I was like, who is this person that's just showing up? Because you see everybody's like, and one day, a little button. And one day I Paint Creatures, the writer and director of the Funky Eye Puppets. He's like, I want you to meet BK Han. He's going to talk to you about the Cryptogami, which is our NFT remedies for the digital soul. And each of them were these crazy, just visually amazing. This artist is amazing. IPC is his name. And shout out to IPC and the Funky Eye Puppets. Anyway, he said he started talking about MetaMask and OpenSea, which at one time was the largest NFT marketplace. BK, is OpenSea still the largest NFT marketplace?
I think they still are. Still is, yeah.
So anyway, I Paint Creatures was like, don't get lost in NFTs. He said, beware, because digital currency, learning how to open up your own wallet, learning how to delete it and get it back with a seed phrase. Nobody else can get into it unless you click the wrong thing. It's basically becoming self-sovereign. But people are fighting that ability. I think everything will go digital, and I just think it's really cool that we had you here today. BK, do you have any questions for Daniel?
Well, I was thinking whether would Daniel be doing more AI related projects, kind of maybe an AI related book, content creations. Are you heading that directions?
I mean, I don't have any plans to do that, but I don't know. I mean, Jeremiah is I collaborate with him a lot, so I definitely know we're doing some stuff together. I don't know, that could always, if I'm going to be working with him, there's always that potential of doing something further. I'm honestly new to it all. He's a good friend of mine that has directed some of my videos for some of my bands. And so when I was doing this, I knew he was doing, he had told me about this throughout the last couple of years about how he was getting into this. So it kind of made sense for me to hire him to, obviously I got the deal of the century. So, I could afford to do the stuff.
So,
well, I can actually bring your so-called creation to another level and can speed up quite a fair bit of things, and even doing things that may take years to complete, so you may want to try it out.
Okay.
Yeah, he was mentioning how, he was able to make these promo videos with AI, and how little that cost really. Ultimately, you have to have the app and you have to have the know-how. So we always say, just don't be afraid of AI, learn to use it. And it's the future. And, I don't think I told you, but I got picked up in a Tesla in Chicago and went on a ride with somebody named Brad Ferguson from Rebellionaire. They had a camera in the back and the car was driving itself. And for an hour, we did an interview, and I almost chickened out. I almost was I'm not going to do it. I was invited, and I was like, how could I not? Somebody has invited me. How could I not? And the Tesla song is actually what led me to this ultimately. So shout out to Rebellionaire.
Actually, the Tesla AI picked Vessy's up,
What did you say? Well, actually, something has changed there. I'm going to be singing the song this Sunday at the Tesla Takeover before Dr. Scott gets up on that stage as a keynote speaker. He wrote the lyrics to this song. I might as well run it now. What do you think, guys? You want to see it?
Do it.
All right, here we go. So yeah, this is the song, and the Tesla Takeover is this Saturday. I'll be there in the flesh. Come visit. I'll be at the welcome tent. All right, here we go.
Do Teslas dream of things unseen? Does your 3 insist that Y exists when it's stable rate? Is your storage crate in the garbage bin? And X again, or the heating duct, a cyber truck? Does a weary auto label see autos in its stable? One more mirage in your one-car garage. Its invisible friend, is it just pretend? Hey, green the only, are our Teslas lonely? We need to find what's in their mind. Dr. Know-It-All, please make the call. Is the FSD chip looking for companionship? We may never know, say for Dojo. We'll soon take a backseat in our roll-up taxis. So we'll listen to a stranger. Put us all in danger as it runs about on another route, looking for its soulmate. Just past the next toll gate, its attention diverted, thoughts more perverted. Will it stick to its scheme as it starts a daydream? Should we take a strong stance against this pending romance? Dread not disillusion, give intent to things we invent. It's pure paranoia, born of pareidolia. Our gift of abstraction is behind this distraction. When we comprehend our souls, we will lend to objects inert, nor even alert. Don't ascribe intelligence to mechanical elegance. You can't have a thought, it's only a bot. Worry for not of an AI onslaught. Fear not what you're taught, or is there a but? Because Tesla's dream is only is only is only a meme.
Right.
Yeah, that was cool. That was
Yay.
very dope. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. Very great.
I want to shout out Dr. Scott, because those lyrics, that's him and his brain in his car, like thinking like that a car could feel like a human. They call that AGI. Do you think it's possible? Artificial general intelligence, that AI could feel
Eventually.
what a person does. Really, you think so?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be so connected, and like it's going to have a life. It's going to be a sentinel being. It pretty much is. So wouldn't that?
But I mean, like blood, heartbeat, brain. Like
I don't know.
I think they're growing AI on actual.
It's already blown my mind to such capacity, like just using ChatGPT, that I really have no idea anymore.
Some people do not want anything to do with it. They're like running from it.
I would. I mean, if we could just say stop it, I would, but we can't.
You would?
Yeah, just the danger. It's too weird, but we can't. So I'm getting on.
What's the danger of knowing how to use something that?
No, I not the danger. I just think like they don't know what AI is going to do. Obviously,
AI is going to do whatever the person that prompts it and teaches it to do.
I mean, just eventually, there's just
there's an amazing human being on X called Adrian Dittman. That's where I met Scott. Shout out to Adrian Dittman and the whole crew of the Accelerators on X. I just want to give X a big shout out. Also, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, StreamYard. What an amazing episode 8 with award-winning author of the one and only Mr.
Taffles.
I want to say Taffy. I always want to say Taffy.
Well, Taffy's good.
Mr. Taffy. Mr. Taffy. Do they have pictures of Taffies all over it? Mr. Taffle's Pants of Insanity.
Yes.
Is that it? Okay, good.
Taffle's Insanity.
Hey, you need to open up a restaurant called Taffle's Pants.
Yeah.
A little coffee shop where you have like the video playing in the coffee, a little coffee shop, like 20 little tables, and actually get Johnny Depp to open up that cafe, make it actually really happen.
Yeah.
Have one pair of pants hanging there. People are going to be like, what is this place?
Gold.
Right?
Cheddar. Yeah.
Cheddar.
Money. Cash machine.
We didn't talk about the actual amount. I want to hear you say it.
The actual amount of what?
What's the amount that you want?
Oh, for the movie? Why don't we say what I would like is, because my next book, I would love to have an investor that would maybe give me, like 20 grand to like really put another show for my next book to build upon what this is. That's kind of what I would love to do. Something like that.
Right on. All right, you have it. You heard it. $20,000 coming your way to the one and only Daniel Finkel. Thank you so much for being our guest. Are there any last words you'd like to shout out to the audience?
Just audiobooks available on all platforms, books on Amazon. Thank you so much. Vessy, you're awesome. I can't thank you enough. This was so great.
It was a pleasure to be with you. I'm glad that Kevin was like, Dan Finkel, get him on the show.
All my stuff. That was so cool to see those things on your show. So I really
he's like, he's getting famous. You have to have him on your show. Please follow, like, share, and comment, you guys. I'm also going to I want you guys to find this amazing person here that we have today, our very special guest. Go find him. Go say hi. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week for episode 9 of The Music Train. Gosh, there's only 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 more, and then we're in season 6.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And you know what? If you want to do a show once a week for your episodes, I would love to offer this platform for you for no charge. If you wanted to do like a 30, 20, 10, 15 minute, anything, let's go and do it, because that's what you need. You need people supporting you and basically launching your vision. So let's do it.
Sure. Sounds cool.
Right on, you guys. Thank you so much. BK is here. He gives everybody a warm welcome and goodbye. Thank you so much. And don't leave, Dan. We got to talk.
Yeah.